From KVOA, investigating for you. This is News 4 Tucson, live at 4.
Happening now, people in Cochise County are arguing about how to count ballots on Election Day. Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Mooney.
And I'm Monica Garcia. More than 60 people are signed up to speak in front of the Cochise County Board of Supervisors meeting, as residents there at one point filled the meeting room. Here's a live look at the building where that meeting is being held. And right now it is standing room only inside. The fight over whether ballots should be hand counted.
Some county officials say there are no problems with the current system, and Cochise County has an excellent reputation for the way they run their elections. Others believe that hand counting ballots would make sure there are no mistakes.
Many in the audience arrived with signs for and against hand ballot counting, but then they were told this meeting was not a rally, so they were not allowed to hold up the signs during the meeting. News 4 Tucson has a crew inside, and we're going to bring you a live report coming up at News 4 Tucson at 5 and 6 o'clock.
To a developing story now. A death investigation is underway in central Tucson. The Tucson Police Department responded to a scene near Lee Street and 11th Avenue. While details remain extremely limited at this time, police did confirm there are no suspects outstanding. Stay with News 4 Tucson on air, online, and on your mobile device for more details as they become available.
And the manhunt for a missing inmate is still underway 4 days after he walked out of a Pima County jail wearing just his boxers and a pair of socks. There's now a $5,000 reward being offered for information leading to the arrest. On Thursday, 43-year-old Oscar Alday was able to escape the jail while other inmates were being released from custody. He is described as 6 feet tall and 185 pounds. He's considered dangerous and should not be approached. If you have any information, you're asked to call 911. And some scary moments for the driver of this car in Oro Valley after they were involved in a dangerous rollover. It happened during this morning's commute around 7:30 on La Cañada, just north of Lambert. Thankfully, Oro Valley police say there were no injuries. At one point, lanes in both directions were reduced down to a single lane as police investigated. Traffic is now back to normal there.
One resident on the northwest side is recovering from suffering from smoke inhalation after a fire started in their home's garage earlier this morning near Ina and Silver Bell. That's where that home is located. Firefighters were quickly able to contain the flames. The cause is now under investigation. At least one person is dead and 7 injured after a shooting in Phoenix over the weekend. It happened at a house party in this neighborhood in West Phoenix Saturday night. Witnesses say a man began shooting into a crowd in the front yard and then drove off. A 37-year-old man died at the hospital. Another victim is a teenager, we're told, who had non-life-threatening injuries. There's no word on a suspect yet or the condition of the others who were injured.
I'm stressed and I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken for these families who send their children to our schools hoping that they'll be safe.
Now, St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones speaking out at a morning press conference today after a deadly shooting at a city school. 3 people were killed and at least 6 others were injured after a gunman entered the Central Visual Performing Arts High School this morning, and police say the suspect exchanged gunfire with police on the school's 3rd floor and then later died. Officials haven't yet said on how that suspect got inside the school. He's been described as a man around 20 years old. A motive for the shooting is unclear and no other information has been released. Matt.
Sean, we are doing what's I'm calling going into instant winter here across southeastern Arizona. Hard to believe we're basking in the upper 80s, close to 90 degrees last week. This work week bringing a totally different story. In fact, we have freeze warnings in effect for much of southeastern Arizona. Heads up, this does not include Metro Tucson, but it's still going to be the coldest night in about 6 months here for the city of Tucson. But heads up if you're in Cochise County, Santa Cruz County, Graham and Greenlee County through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We are talking about the potential to see hard freeze conditions in some spots. The difference is freezing 32, hard freeze. We're spending a few hours below 28 degrees, or at least at that 28 degree threshold. And here's just a preview of some of the nighttime lows we can expect. Places like Wilcox, upper 20s, below freezing Pierce, below freezing Douglas, 32 degrees this evening / tomorrow morning. Bisbee, Benson, about 30 degrees. Sunshine galore outside on this Monday afternoon. Temperature 66 degrees. Dew points at 19. Winds are calm. 66 Casas Adobes. The warm spot 66. And those two locations at in the airport, and we have widespread temperatures into the 50s across sections of Cochise and Santa Cruz County. Reason being this strong area of low pressure that brought, yes, some flakes of snow to Mount Lemmon. I got video to prove it to you coming up in a few minutes, but high pressure will build in pretty quickly for a nice rebound as we head into your day on Tuesday. But the short-term plan for tonight, 7 o'clock tonight, coldest in months. 9 o'clock, definitely jacket weather, mid-50s, and by 11 o'clock, I'm calling it a good old-fashioned heater night. That's 11 o'clock, 49 degrees. How cold do we get in the city of Tucson, and how long does it stick around? Full forecast in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Matt. And as you said, it does continue to get colder here in southern Arizona. There's some important information you should know about. News 4 Tucson's Megan Spector has some tips on how to keep yourself and your home safe as temperatures drop.
When temperatures drop below freezing, it's really important that you remember how to protect those 4 Ps. Those include people, pets, pipes, and plants. Now let's start off with people. Remember, if you're heading out the door, don't forget your jacket. And once you have yourself and your family all bundled up, make sure you're checking on your neighbors, especially if they're elderly. The next P you'll want to remember is pets. Don't leave your pets outside because just like us, pets can really feel the cold weather as well. So make sure to keep an eye on them on walks as temperatures get cooler. The next P is pipes. If they're exposed and the wind starts to pick up, they have the potential to freeze. If this becomes a risk, you can cover your pipes with towels. And plants are the last P to look out for. If you're able to bring your plants inside, that's the first suggestion. However, if this isn't possible, you can cover them with a blanket or a towel. Our forewarned meteorologists will continue to monitor the weather and keep you up to date on everything you need to know during these cooler temperatures. Reporting from Central Tucson, Megan Spector, News 4 Tucson.
All right, Megan, and with cooler temperatures comes exciting winter activities. Check this out. This is the Sunrise Park Resort located near Greer. They have officially started snowmaking. This marks the earliest snowmaking efforts by the resort in years due to changing weather conditions. Along with the fake snow, there was 3 inches of natural snow overnight. The opening day is predicted to be December 2nd, depending on weather.
Arizona restaurants are still struggling to hire people. Even though it's been more than 2 years since the start of the pandemic, the problem still persists. News 4 Tucson's Robbie Reynolds reports.
There's lots of restaurants like right here in downtown Tucson who are hiring. In fact, there's lots of restaurants all across the state who are looking for workers. But they say they're having a hard time finding people who want to work. Just a simple job search shows nearly 12,000 restaurant job openings in the state of Arizona, around 1,500 of those in Tucson. Everything from host to server, even some general manager openings. Restaurant owners say they've already increased pay and benefits, but they may have to sweeten the deal even more.
We're paying probably 40% more than we were previously, and we're still having trouble. We'll get applicants, but then the applicants don't even show up to the interview.
Businesses are hiring for all different kinds of shifts, including